In today's gaming news, The Elder Scrolls Online prepares for their biggest beta event to date, Twitch TV makes top 4 NA, and how early should developers lift NDAs? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Force with your day's gaming news. First up today, The Elder Scrolls Online will be holding a beta event this weekend that is said to be their biggest beta event to date. They just recently sent out emails. If you haven't already, be sure to check your spam folder just in case it snuck in there. The beta event will be starting this Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and lasting until Monday, February the 10th at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now the NDA for this game is still firmly in place, and although you've seen bits and pieces of footage here and there, if you haven't played the game and you do get an invite, at least give it a shot and see what you think about it. Again, this is their biggest beta event to date. They've sent out more keys than they have for any previous event. So if you haven't gotten in the past and you did apply for the beta, again, please be sure to check your inbox and your spam folder. It's also worth mentioning if you're someone who is returning to the beta, your character from the previous event will be saved, so you can continue to progress from where you left off. Next up in news, Twitch TV is continuing to grow, and they just made their way into the top 4 most viewed website in North America. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Twitch is the 4th most viewed website in the US at peak hours with 1.8% of the traffic. This puts them below Netflix with 32%, Google with 22%, and Apple at 4.3%. Now, even though they're just pushing about 2% and they're much further behind the top 3 placed sites when it comes to traffic, it's still a milestone, and it shows the continued growth of Twitch TV. I wanted to bring this up just to let you know that Twitch is doing well. If you weren't already aware of that fact, they're continuing to grow, and they're making it in a pretty decent spot. But it also, I thought, was interesting for me because I have started to put more and more time and effort into streaming, and it's something that I've really found that I've enjoyed, and making it a part of my regular content production, stuff that I'm pushing out there to the internet for you guys to view. What am I doing? Stuff that I'm pushing out there to the internet for you guys to view has been an enjoyable experience for me. So it's good for me to hear that this is a platform that is growing and continuing to do well. And last up in news today, we're going to talk about NDAs. As just mentioned, The Elder Scrolls Online's having a beta event this weekend, and that game is still firmly under NDA, even though they are 2 months out from launch. And then in contrast, we have a title like EverQuest Next Landmark, which launched at the tail end of last week, and within 24 hours, I believe it was a very brief period of time, they said, hey, screw it, let's lift the NDA, let everyone see what's going on with this game. And there you go. So it shows two different schools of thoughts when it comes to lifting NDA on pre-release product. And that's what I wanted to talk with you guys about today. Now, this is coming off of an article posted up on Massively that asked this very question. How soon do you think companies should lift NDAs on their game? Now, when it comes to answering that question, I think it's a pretty complex answer. So yes, there's 2 schools of thought. Lift the NDA really early in alpha, beta, whatever, or hold off and don't lift the NDA until a game's about to launch. And why is that done? Well, we could be super cynical and say, people don't want their NDAs lifted because they think their game is trash and they don't want people to see it, so that they buy it unknowingly before waiting for reviews or before getting pre-launch content. And while it is certainly likely true in some situations, I wouldn't say it's true in all situations. You know, first impressions do matter, and when a game is in alpha and beta and it's not complete, that could turn people off. A perfect example, EverQuest Next Landmark. Alpha just started, it's gone up, we've put up footage, I've been covering it because I've been playing the crap out of it, but there's a problem here. There are people who look at this and they say, what is this game? This is stupid, there's nothing to do. And even though I'm consistently saying this game isn't finished, they've got a lot more things they're gonna be adding, there will be people who watch a video, see that this game, as example, is just mining and crafting and that's it. And then they'll say, oh, it's just a prettier version of Minecraft, this is garbage, I don't care about this game. When in actuality, over time, it will get less buggy, the game will continue to improve, there are many, many more features they're adding, and those first impressions won't be true to the final product. And if they never check back in, they could be missing out on a game that they would have enjoyed. And of course, Sony would be missing out on a purchase. So it's a tough call. You know, in some situations, I think, yeah, if you're super confident, lift the alpha, get people talking about it. But on the other hand, if it gets released too early and people see an unfinished product that's buggy and not feature complete, they might just be turned off from a potential future sale. So what I want to know from you guys today is, what do you think about lifting NDAs in games? Again, I think it's a complicated issue with not a clear cut and dry answer, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. That's going to do it for today's episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you have just been force-fed. So with all of that argument and discussion out of the way, I will agree, sometimes there are games that don't lift NDAs because they're not confident in their product. This happens sometimes. Just sometimes it happens. You know?